Hi, we're going to go through some strategies for how to keep a maybe tight or a little painful Achilles as loose and pain-free as possible, as pliable as possible, while you're playing, in between games, and in between days of playing. So how do we make sure it functions as well as possible so that we can keep going? The big things are to keep it moving. You want blood flow to be maintained. You don't want to sit still too long. So we're going to use ankle cars, we're going to use isometrics, we're going to use self-massage, and even certain calf raises can help. I'll go through those real quick. So ankle cars, you want to keep your thigh, your shin still, and we're going to draw really big circles. So this can be used in-game, between games, between days. Really good way to make sure all of these tissues that attach to the Achilles are staying loose and staying used. They're not going to tighten up too much. It's going to help with the recovery too. Then what we want to do is isometrics, and this can also be used at different intensities and different positions. So I like doing them here. We're going to rock forward. Heel can come up if you want. You want to find a stretch here. Then you want to make these stretch tissues contract and work. So I'm going to push my toes into the ground without letting myself move. And that's going to create tension here. I might hold for 10 to 30 seconds, depending on the time before I go back in the game or how intense it feels. We don't want it to be too painful. The reality is it might be a little bit sore, and that's okay. You can also do isometrics up here. So similar idea, bent knee, rock onto the forefoot, and you're just going to hold in place. Okay? This is going to help with pain. It's going to help keep it loose. It's going to help drive blood to the area. You can also do it with a straight leg. So I can go here, straight knee, and push. I often find that's not as effective, but it can still help. Then the other isometric you can use is going up onto the toes as much as possible, using some help, and then you're going to let go with your other foot. Okay? And I'm going to hold as high as I can for maybe 10 to 20 seconds if I can keep my balance. So hold on to something. All right, so those are the isometrics that we're going to use. Then finally, using some form of self-massage can be really helpful. So a foam roller works really well for that. You can pop it right under your leg, and I find that typically the upper lateral outside part of the calf is most responsible for the Achilles pain. It's not always going to be the case, but oftentimes right around here, we're going to get a lot of tension, and alleviating some of that can help with the pain, can help with the tightness down here. So you can explore and see how it feels. You can pick this leg up. You could cross it over to make it more intense on your ankle. Okay, you can even create pressure. You can go side to side, and you can do ankle cars with pressure, like so. If you don't have a foam roller, you could also use a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball. Lacrosse ball tends to be a little tough. It's harder. It's going to be harder for you to relax into it. Finally, you could use a stick. So if you have a rolling stick, you want to try to relax the calf area and roll and find the spots that feel like they have the most tension. Again, for me and what I've found with people, it's typically right around here. If you have no implements or you don't feel like rolling up and down, take a finger, find these spots, okay? Push into them. And if you spend a little bit of time there, you might feel some of that stuff start to give in a little bit. This is not going to create really lasting change. So we always want to follow up any of this passive massage stuff with active inputs such as ankle cars or isometrics. Now, the final thing you can do just to get blood flow to all these tissues is some form of calf raises. You can do it here. You can do it standing with knees straight or knees bent. Okay, so you can use that combination of things and see what works best for you. But the big thing is we never want to spend that much time totally still without any blood flow or movement or force going through this area. That's what's going to tighten up, and it's going to be harder to get it going again.